Oh hey YouTube, my name is Vivid, and this series is going to be my attempt to beat Minecraft using Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. Wait, I'm sorry, Minecraft? Well, more specifically Pixelmon. It's basically what you would get if you took Pokemon and Minecraft and mashed them up into one perfect game. It has all the aspects of Bro, say less, I'm already logging in. I knew you were gonna be into this. Okay, so the Pixelmon team reached out to me and asked if I had any interest in playing on their servers, and my answer was a massive yes. The server just reset, so it's a great time to hop in and shake things up. This series is going to be me exploring Pixelmon, and while I can't exactly play with traditional Hardcore Nuzlocke rules, I'm going to try to do my best to make it spicy. I'll quickly explain the rules I'll be using and then we'll jump right in. But before we do, please consider leaving a like on the video if you're excited for this series, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, so on to the rules. For this series, I decided that it might be interesting if I randomly generated 3 Pokemon and picked 3 types to lock myself to. And when I did that, this is what I got. Seeing as there are only 3 types present here, I guess we're restricted to normal, ghost, and dragon type Pokemon. Which is actually pretty sweet, so no complaints from me. There are no routes in Minecraft, so instead of trying some weird method to limit the amount of encounters I can get, I'm just going to be limited to catching only Pokemon of the 3 types that I'm locked into. I realize I'll get way more encounters this way, but I've come up with some other rules that I think counterbalance this a little bit. I'll also make an exception for shiny Pokemon to catch them, but I won't use them if they're not one of the types that I'm locked to. If a Pokemon faints, as is with any Nuzlocke, it is a goner and must be released or permanently boxed. And now these next 2 rules are what I'm considering my hardcore rules. If all of my Pokemon of a certain type faint, that type is considered dead, and I have to re-roll for a new type entirely. I am going to add the stipulation here that even if a type is considered dead, I'm still allowed to catch Pokemon of that type as long as its secondary typing is one of the types that I'm currently locked to. So for example, if I lose the ghost type and then I receive the poison type as my next type, I can still catch Ghastly since it's a ghost poison Pokemon. And my final rule, if I ever black out at all 3 of my current types are considered dead, and I essentially have to start from scratch. This is my way of making sure that if you wipe, it actually feels like a reset. My initial goal going into this challenge is to beat the 8 standard gyms and eventually to try the hard mode gyms. I also want to participate in some raids and hunt for some legendaries and just in general have fun. This challenge might be either way too hard or so simple it's wild. Either way, let's get into it and see how this goes. Starting off, I load into this lobby room and already you can tell how active this community is, with several days each week having some type of event going on. I'm super looking forward to the increased shiny odds on Wednesday and increased hidden ability odds on Saturday. If that wasn't enough community interaction for you, this is the event calendar for the month of August, which looks to be pretty dope. I've personally never lost at karaoke, so you can definitely count me in for that one. I'm going to be playing on the PocketPixels Green server, so if you want to join me on this adventure either to do your own Pixelmon challenge or just to play the game in its entirety, the Green server is where I will be. Go to getpixelmon.com for a detailed explanation of how to install and play the game, and if you want to dive further into the community, you should definitely join the Discord server. Links with everything you need, including how to install and play the game, will be in the description down below. It's super simple and it only took me like 5 minutes to get into the game. Logging into the Green server for the first time, we're prompted to pick a starter, and I tanked on this for a while. I had to choose between Porygon or Dratini. At least those were the options that I considered, but in the end, I had to go with my mascot. Porygon secured. I'm sure he'll be kind of difficult to evolve if I actually have to trade him to make him evolve, but we can cross that road when we get there. Now, I've never played Pixelmon, so it took me a bit of time to get used to the interface and how everything works, but I just want to mention that every single time I asked a question in the chat, someone answered super quickly and without being condescending. This is the type of community you absolutely love to see. I decided it's time to take a look at our starter, and wow, I did not expect this to be a shiny. Starting off with a shiny feels pretty great, and hopefully we can find some more to match this guy. I explored in the starting area for a while just to get a feel for everything, and there is a ton to do here. My initial goals might just be to beat the 8 standard gyms, but I'm eventually going to have to branch out and try some of this extra content because there is so much here and it looks like a blast. Eventually I remember I can grab a free starter pack to sort of kickstart off my journey with, and you can too if you're a new player to the PocketPixel servers. Just go to the shop PocketPixels store, head to the featured items, and grab your free starter pack. On the checkout screen, enter code VIVID so they know I sent you there. In this pack, you get 1 random shiny Pokemon, a 10-minute shiny boost token, and a Master Ball. All things that will just help you out on your journey. While we're on the topic of the store, I just feel like I should mention Pixelmon is completely free to play, but if you want to buy crate keys or server ranks, now's the time to do it because everything is 20% off for a summer sale. Just a quick plug. Okay, back to the game. My random shiny from the starter pack is Pan Teleport, which is probably the worst Pokemon I can imagine getting. Please tell me if you got something you would consider worse than this, because I probably don't believe that it could happen. I go talk to this nice man who will teleport you to different biomes, which are regions where different Pokemon spawn at, and I just click random and I end up in this Plainsy type place. It's a win for me though, because I'm able to snag a Galarian Zigzagoon and a Meowth. I was trying to get this Tauros as well, but it just despawned right in front of me. That's very sad, and Tauros seems like a sweet Pokemon to have to take on the gyms with, so I'll definitely be keeping my eyes peeled for another. After a while, I figure out you can use the command /menu to teleport around, and honestly, that was a massive relief because I was lost as heck, and I hate walking around in Minecraft worlds because they're so massive. I realize I have some rare candies to use up, but I don't exactly know where these came from. Either way, I blow through them to get my Porygon up to level 25 since I haven't seen a single wild Pokemon I would feel comfortable fighting with a level 5 Porygon, and I level Zigzagoon up until he evolves into Lanoon. He has both Headbutt and Night Slash now on his moveset, so pretty solid for the early game. After some more exploring and minor grinding, I realized that there are different Safari zones set up, and in the first one I visit, I find a Baneri and a Mischievous and I catch them both. Baneri and Lopunny aren't really fantastic Pokemon, but Mega Lopunny is actually insane. And Mischievous and Mismagius are just some of my favorite ghost types, so I will 100% be securing a Dust Stone at some point to evolve him. At this point, I'm a little concerned about grinding up because rare candies are finite and wild Pokemon don't offer great XP rates, so I do what I've done anytime I needed help up to this point, and I just asked. Someone gave me the command to get to the training area, and honestly, this is amazing. It's just an island full of Blissey to grind up XP on, and there's even an Eevee training area where you can go train individual stats. I also got this lucky egg as a drop from a Blissey, which I think will really help me fly through the levels. I haven't looked super hard into Eevee training or breeding for IVs, but it might be something I have to do in order to beat the gyms, because unlike in normal Pokemon games, the gyms here on the PocketPixels servers are manned by real people, and those people are playing to win, which is something that can't be said for all gym leaders in the main series Pokemon games. It would be new to breed for a Nuzlocke, but I'm not opposed to it if I have to. After grinding out some levels, I feel like I need an area to call my own so I can start building up a base, but I want to do some more exploring before I do that, and honestly, I'm super glad I did. Sableye and Porygon are now both on my team. Have you seen my character art? These two are my absolute favorites. I am beyond hyped. Mega Sableye is also actually a really solid defensive Pokemon, so it might be good in these games, whereas it's just kinda there in other games. I realize at this point that I have both normal and ghost type Pokemon, but I've yet to come across a single dragon, and I need to find a dragon before I end this episode. So I scoured high and low looking for a Bagon or a Dino, but I ended up with the Jangmo-o, which is a pretty reasonable consolation prize. I'm excited to find my first dragon type, but I am not excited that this thing took all but 3 of my Ultra Balls to catch. But I finally got it. And right after, I managed to actually snag a Delmise in an ocean biome. I'm building up some strong pieces to work with here, but it's going to be about putting in the work and actually making them useful to beat the gyms. I know I'm going to have to start grinding for money to buy TMs and items, but thankfully, there's a whole built-in guide on how to start off making money when you're new. Here's to grinding for some upgrades. At some point, I ended up with this rare key, and honestly, just like the rare candies, I'm not super sure how I got it. I don't know if I started with it, I don't know if I picked it up at some point, I don't know if just being in the server unlocked it for me, I don't know, but I do know that I'm gonna go use it to spin at this crate, and when I do, I unlock a set of lightning tools, which are insane and make it super easy for me to farm materials for my base. So, it's time to find a new area and make my claim. I do just that, and I end up with this absolute unit of a starting base. Yes, my walls are made of leaves, and yes, my roof has a mushroom ring around it, but I think it's nice and homey, and plus I've always kind of wanted to live inside a tree, and this is giving me those vibes. If you want to join the PocketPixels Green server with me and you want to move in near me, these are my coordinates. Please feel free to come be my neighbor, and we'll make a nice little foresty neighborhood. I would absolutely love to see some of you in game. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. Wait, is that a shiny Galarian Zigzagoon? Oh my goodness, it is. I absolutely adore shiny Obstagoon because it is so vividly colored. Who knew I would get to make a reference to my channel name in episode 1? Anyway, I catch her and I am stoked. I think Obstagoon is a super solid Pokemon, and this Obstagoon will have guts when it evolves, so if I can find a Flame Orb, she could realistically be one of my best wall breakers, and she's going to be super colorful while breaking down those walls. That is amazing. What are the odds that the first wild shiny I would encounter would not only be a Pokemon I could use considering I'm locked to only 3 types, but one I think could actually be competitive? That's nuts. Alright, that's really all I have for you today. Remember to check the description for links to all the resources that you need to play Pixelmon, and please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed this and if you're excited for this series, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Vivid. On the next episode, we will definitely at least be taking on the first gym, but I'm kind of done here and I have to leave. Okay, bye.